their elders, past and present, as well as future generations. This acknowledgement is a small step toward the necessary work of dismantling the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism.
To pray, you open your whole self to sky, to earth, to sun, to moon, to one whole voice that is you. And know that there is more that you can see, can't hear, can't know, except in moments steadily growing, and in languages that aren't always sound, but other circles of motion. Like eagle that Sunday morning over Salt River, circle in blue sky, in wind swept our hearts clean with separate wings. We see you, see ourselves, and know that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. Breathe in, knowing we are made of all this, and breathe, knowing we are truly blessed because we were born and die soon within a true circle of motion, like eagle rounding out at morning inside us. We pray that it will be done in beauty, in beauty. And in place of concert notes, we are offering some reflections on the poem. And I want to say that Joy Harjo is a poet and performer from the Muskogee Creek Nation, a self-governed Native American tribe located in Oklahoma. She was Poet Laureate of the United States from 2019 to 2022, and is the recipient of Yale's 2023 Pulitzer Prize for American Poetry. I chose to say a few things about this poem because I find it moving in many ways. It speaks directly to the reader, you, so that we pay attention to what is around us and recognize our humility by understanding that not everything is about us, Homo sapiens, and that not everything can be understood logically. The poem suggests that sometimes knowledge, understanding, will come in languages that aren't always sound. For instance, in the transcendental moment of a poem, or of a prayer, or of love. Then the poem invites us to take a bird's eye, circle around like eagle, see ourselves and everything around us, and comprehend that we must take the utmost care and kindness in all things. The universe moves in cycles of motion, and so do we. We are part of that cycle, and we are fortunate to be born and fortunate to die. And then the poem leaves us with the hope that when that moment comes, it will be done in beauty.
Oh Sarah Teasdale's poem, A Minuet of Mozart's. She says that music turns into light. That's my favorite part. Sarah Teasdale was my favorite author when I was growing up. She's one of the reasons I'm a poet too. A Minuet of Mozart's by Sarah Teasdale. Across the dimly lighted room, the violin drew wefts of sound. Airily they wove and wound and glimmered gold against the gloom. I watched the music turn to light, but at the pausing of the bow, the web was broken, and the glow was drowned within the wave of night.
My Song by Rabindranath Tagore, 1861 to 1941, from Calcutta, India. He grew up in a wealthy family, the Tagore house, and it was the center of cultural activities. Tagore was tutored at home. According to the Poetry Foundation, was a man of prestigious literary and artistic accomplishments who played the leading role in Indian cultural renaissance and came to be recognized, along with Gandhi, as one of the architects of modern India. In 1883, married his wife and had 3 daughters and 2 sons. In 1901, he established a school, Satakanta, meaning deep sense of peace, which is now a university. Here's the poem. This poem of mine will wind its music around you, my child, like the fond arms of love. This song of mine will touch your forehead like a kiss of blessing. When you are alone, it will sit by your side and whisper in your ear. When you are in a crowd, it will fence you about with aloofness. My song will be like a pair of wings to your dreams. It will transport your heart to the verge of the unknown. It will be like the faithful star overhead when dark night is over your road. My song will sit in the pupils of your eyes and will carry your sight into the heart of things. And when my voice is silent in death, my song will speak to your living heart. Or I would choose this poem. On the first line, the poem is being compared to as a star that will light up the road ahead. It is saying that even there is darkness, the coming light will always be there. The poem is compared to the arms that would hug them with love. This stresses the point that the intense love for the child is powerful. The song is saying that divinity can be realized by living the life of spiritual growth. The parent may not be around physically, but the poem will fill their soul with support and love. The composer, Eric Estevalds, born in Latvia in 1977, composed this piece for choral groups. He said that the flow of harmony is the most important thing, creating sound that you truly feel, not just harmonious sound. The text of the song is different. Some say romantic, I say on the verge of spiritual comfort. Personally, it feels as though I'm receiving healing energy from my song. It gives me a euphoric feeling. It might for you too.
Thank you. prodigy as her husband, and her marriage is one of the most important marriages in music history. At the age of 9, she performed her first concert, and at 21, she was one of the leading piano singers. She continued to compose, play, and perform and teach until her death late at, 1896. Clara Schumann enjoyed just as much prestige as her husband, but her taste was rare. Women enjoyed more musical freedom than in the past, but were expected to learn music to decorate the house, not as a performance art. She enjoyed the full support of her husband and father, but for every Clara Schumann, there were a dozen women who were looked over. Here at BK Treble, we focus on contemporary female composers, but we find it tactful to reach into the past to appreciate what we have now. In this modern choral arrangement of our work, we hope to bring new life to old and honor those who don't have the opportunity we have now. And we will now recite the poem in English and the original German. I stood darkly dreaming, gazed at her picture there, and her beloved face softly waking with each stare. Around her lips there blossomed a smile with wondrous light, and from her eyes sad teardrops gleamed freely in the night. And then my tears ran ceaseless, flowed down my cheek now too, and I can't believe it that I indeed lost you.
Ich stand in dunklen Träumen und starrte ihr Bildnis an, und das geliebte Antlitz ein Blick zu leben begann. Ein jeder Liebling zog sich, ein Lächeln wunderbar, und wie waren wohl Mestfahnen, erglänzte ihr Augenpaar. Auch meine Tränen flossen mir von den Wangen herab, und auch ich kann's nicht glauben, dass ich dich verloren habe.
A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends, and he dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but longed for still. And his tune is heard in the distant hill, for the cage bird sings of freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a cage bird stands in the grave of dreams his shadow shouts in a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The cage bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, but long for still. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, for the cage bird sings for freedom. I am introducing Why a Cage Bird Sings, which was composed with the intention of illustrating transformative and liberating power of singing. How many of you know the name Marguerite Johnson? If you do, hold up your hand. Not many. They do. She's better known as Maya Angelou, one of the most prolific African-American female poets, novelist, singer, dancer, activist, and professor, and earned many honors in her lifetime. Her autobiography, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, was written in response to the abuse, racism, and sexism she had suffered. At 8 years old, she stopped speaking for 5 years after she found out the power of words and speaking when someone who abused her was killed due to the truth she told about what happened to her. Her autobiography, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, has remained one of the most read and respected books around the world. The poem tells of a cage bird who sings and beats its wings against the bars of the cage until they are bloody, not because he's happy or free, but because he wants freedom to fly and sing in the sunlight. Angela used the metaphor of a cage bird to express even in times of her hardship, she would survive by fighting back. Just as a cage bird still sings, even though broken. Angela needing to live and express herself freely in a society that at one time made her feel caged. When the bird attempts to show its natural beauty and spread its wings, I am reminded that this day still happens today, when people are different or dare to be different, do not have the freedom to sing in the sunlight, nor to soar as far and high as their wings will carry them. All that having been said, it's not just knowing, but it's understanding why the cage bird sang and continues to sing. There is hope. It is the ability to have a voice, to speak, to write, to participate in your own life, to inspire others with your personal experiences, journey, and truth. To still rise, to no longer be a cage bird in your own mind and spirit, but to spread one's wings in the face of adversity, to still soar, to still fly, to still sing.
Thank annexing to a regular season that we've had in 4 years. So we're very grateful, and we're so thrilled to see such a big crowd with us tonight. So thank you for being with us. We hope that you're enjoying this journey as we explore poetry and music together. And we have, within our group, we do have our own BK Treble Poet Laureate, and that is Phyllis Capello. And I'm going to ask her to come on out now and share some of her poetry and a song with you.
I'm going to read you a little thing, and I'm going to read you my poem, which is coincidentally about music. Poetry, as the embodiment of nature, it surrounds us from cradle to grave. And tonight we've heard about eagles and violins that turn sound into light. And my little poem has a long name, it's kind of like a joke. But it's about how we culturally decide what sound is and what music is. And also, it's especially about the ephemerality of music and words and poetry. So thank you for making this the largest poetry audience I've ever had. Not coincidentally, it starts with birds. Consensual agreement on the interpretation of sound. Birdsong, spilling from trees, peppers the ears. Then little sister mine tags along to nag the skull with notions. Who needs sound? A mind kiss quickens the heart. Fate changes with a wink. A note's a borrowed fill, curved in the palm feather, fetched from ether, perceptible but already poised for its leap back to the wind. I'm going to sing you Golden Apples in the Sun. The words are by Nates. I've never used this ukulele before in concert, but here we go. It's about magic. A man goes to the forest, to the hazelwood, because a fire is in his head. And he finds a bough, and he peels the bough, and he has a string, and he finds it buried. So he gets a fishing line. He's like a diver. And what happens is he catches a fish, then you'll see what happens. I went out to the hazelwood, cause a fire was in my head. Cut and peel the hazel wand, strung a berry through a thread. And when white moths were on the wing, and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream, caught a little silver trout. Hungry. And when I laid it on the ground, it turned to blow the fire aflame. Something rustled on the ground, and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossoms in her hair, who called me by my name and ran, vanished in the bright air. Though I grow old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone and kiss her lips and take her hand. And run through long green dappled grass and pluck till time and times are done. The silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun.
Octavio Paz was a Mexican poet. He was born in Mexico City in 1914 and died there in 1998. And in recognition of his many contributions, he received the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1990. He had many, I love his different ideologies that he was influenced by. Marxism, Surrealism, Existentialism, Buddhism, and Hinduism. And I've never heard of all those ideologies in one person's outlook. I'm going to quote one thing he said about poetry. Octavio said, "I think the mission of poetry is to establish the possibility of mankind to wonder, admiration, enthusiasm, the sense of mystery, the sense of the life as marvelous." When you say life is marvelous, you are saying a banality. But to make life a marvel, but to make life a marvel, that is the role of poetry. Object lesson is in 3 movements, and I may be mispronouncing the first. Zoki Pili, Niño y Trompa, which means boy and top in English, and Objetos. And Zoki Pili is the god of art, games, dance, flowers, and song in Aztec mythology. So I love this piece, both the words and how it's been set to music by Matthew Harris. I love what I interpret, though others don't agree with me in the choir, as the double meaning of the words. Both a lightness and silliness to contemplating little objects on a bookcase, and a deeper meaning, the lessons that objects can teach us, and remind us about appreciating and being present for the day-to-day experiences and joys that are life. Enjoy.
En el árbol del día cuelgan frutos de jade, fuego y sangre en la noche. Object lesson. 7. Xochipilli. In a day's tree hang jade fruit, fire and blood at night. 9. Niño y trompo. Cada vez que lo lanza, cae justo en el centro del mundo. 9. Boy and top. Each time he spins it, it lands precisely at the center of the world. 10. Objetos. Viven a nuestro lado. Los ignoramos, nos ignoran. Alguna vez conversan con nosotros. 10. Objects. They live alongside us. We do not know them. They do not know us. But sometimes they speak with us.
was written by acclaimed African-American composer Florence Price. Ms. Price was born in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1887 and began her career as a music teacher. By 1927, she moved to Chicago to escape racial violence that was happening around her and to continue her work as an educator and now composer. By 1932, her compositions had won her the prestigious Wanamaker Foundation Composition Award, and her work was being performed by the Chicago Symphony, marking the first time an African-American female composer had a symphony performed by a major American orchestra. In the vast context of Ms. Price's work, Moonbridge holds a place as an ethereal treat of a composition, painting music over the words of this poem to transport us to a world between sleep and consciousness, to a place where fairies roam over our neighborhood and the moon's frown can cause a serious shift in a party's mood. Various points in the text are highlighted with voices that bounce or descend to reflect the magic of small changing moments, resulting in a musical piece that is truly transportive to the world of childlike imagination. And here is Moonbridge. The moon, like a big round ball of flame, rose out of the silver bay and built a bridge of golden beams where the fairies came to play. I saw them dancing in jeweled robes on the wavelets' rhythmic flow, and I longed to stand on the magic bridge in the moonlight's mystic glow. But over the sky, a veil of mist, thin, soft as a web of lace, was drawn, then parted, then came again with easy, coquettish grace. And the moon put on a somber mask and frowned on the rippling wave. And the beautiful bridge went under the sea, nor a beam could the fairies save. I wondered if this would end their play, and if, as the bridge went down, they would lose their jewels so frail and fair, and the queen her diamond crown. But they glided away in a merry mood to their home in the rose trees' bowers, and there they danced on the dewy grass till the wee small morning hours.
Thank you. Green grasses grow, and flowers lift their heads, and over all the plain the wonder spreads of life, of life, of life. In time of silver rain, the butterflies lift silken wings to catch a rainbow cry, and trees put forth new leaves to sing, in joy beneath the sky. As down the roadway, passing boys and girls go singing too. In time of silver rain, when spring and life are new.
For that one. I just wanted to acknowledge once again our amazing pianist who's been working with us this whole season, and for many seasons before. And there are a lot of people who are helping us out behind the scenes. We have volunteers at the back helping us out who are mostly former members or members on sabbatical, and we had our board members. If you're a board member, can you just raise a hand? They're all singing, all board members are singing. And we've had a bunch of new people join us this semester, so if you're looking for a choir, the door is always open to join us. If this is your first concert with BK Treble, can you raise your hand? Years or more, raise your hand. So it takes all kinds, we are all kinds, and we love meeting new people and singing with new people all the time. We feel a lot of joy when we do this together, and we would love for you to join us and sing with us if you're interested. We do have concerts already scheduled for next year. They're in your program, you can see the dates. So mark your calendars and come join us at least for the concert, if not to sing with us on a weekly basis on Monday nights. I'm going to shut up now. The last piece is by a current Canadian composer called Marie-Claire Sandon. She's awesome. I've programmed already a couple of her pieces, and she's always churning out new things. Very, very exciting. And the poetry is by a singer-songwriter poet who's Canadian, also called Linda Studley. Thank you for coming. We will see you again very soon, and happy Mother's Day, and happy summer, happy spring. Arrivederci.
Are the ones who take a chance, who sing the song, who step the dance, who dare to try, who lose control, and don't care who might see our soul. The ones the world's sweet song enjoys. And in our search for true romance, we take a stand, a lover's stance, against indifference, hard and cold. We are the ones. Come sing the song, come step the dance, give up your heart and take the chance, and open up your eyes, behold, as possibilities unfold. Take back your dreams from circumstance. We are the ones.